Hello, and thank you for stopping by. My name is Ryan, and I will be discussing a question regarding passwords. And the question is, what is a good password, and how do I create one? Well, I first want to just start off with a disclaimer. As you all know, technology changes at a rapid pace, and the suggestions that I will be discussing will not always be applicable. Password cracking is often based upon computing power, computing speed, um, and such. So as computers increase in power and speed, password cracking becomes easier. So um, the tips that I will be discussing and the suggestions that I will bring up are commonly accepted in the security field as of right now, but will not always be accepted in the future. So keep that in mind as you create your passwords. So first, what are some common password mistakes? Short passwords. Anything below 8 characters is typically considered a short password and is as a result considered unsecure. So I have a couple suggestions here, or a couple examples. Ryan1, my dog, those are short passwords. Dictionary words. Anything found in the dictionary is a dictionary word. Couple examples. Awesome, fantastic, password. You might look at fantastic and password and see, well, you're substituting characters there. With hybrid attacks that exist, those are still easily crackable passwords because they are based off a dictionary word, even though you're substituting characters. Guessable passwords. So a lot of people nowadays use social media sites, blogs, whatever it may be. On those sites, they often discuss items such as family matters, pets, so on and so forth. And say your pet's name is Ralph. If you use Ralph as your password on your sites, attackers that are looking for information about you, they might come across your Facebook page. See that you have a dog named Ralph on your Facebook page. They might find out you do your banking at fake Bank of America or whatever. They guess your password is Ralph, and if your password is Ralph, they get in. So same password. Do not use the same password across all of your accounts. You know, a lot of you will have an online banking account, your social media site account, your email account. Do not share the same password across all of your accounts. Static passwords. What I mean by that is setting a password today and using that password for the next 5-10 years. Come up with a password refresh cycle. Do not use the same password for an extended period of time. So here's a list of some of the most common passwords from 2013. I'm doing a quick search. I just found this on CBS News. As you can see here, all these passwords are unsecured, not good passwords. These are going to be passwords that are going to be easily crackable. So what are some good tips for creating a good password? As I mentioned before, minimum of 8 characters. Some security experts will say 14 characters, but the general rule of thumb is a minimum of 8 characters. But of course, anything longer than 8 characters is preferred. Do not use dictionary words. Use something different than your username or something different than your first name or last name. If you're using part of your name in a password, try to avoid that. And anything with a username or your actual name, try to keep that out of your password. Multiple character types. Use multiple character types such as lowercase letters, uppercase letters, numbers, special characters, punctuation marks. A lot of experts will suggest using at least a combination of 3 of these character types. Use dynamic passwords. So instead of static passwords where you set it and leave it, come up with some sort of password changing or password refresh plan, whether that's every month, every 2 months, 3 months, whatever, every 6 months. Start with something. Consider using passphrases and consider using acronyms. So what are some examples of good passwords? Well, let's look at passphrases here real quick. So as we can see here, first one is supposed to be a sentence. I love fall. Something simple. it's not a dictionary word because there is no word I love fall. That's a sentence. As we can see here, it's longer than 8 characters, and we're using a combination of character types. So we have some numbers in there. We have capital letters, lowercase letters, special characters, punctuation mark. So that's a good password. It's going to be more complex, not as easily crackable. The next one is another sentence. I ride horses. As we can see there, longer than 8 characters. Character substitution, multiple character types. Going to be a little bit more complex as well. Acronyms might be a little bit harder for you to remember if you are using this technique. But as we can see here, I have at first glance what looks just like random letters and numbers and characters there. And it's actually an acronym for I love to vacation in Alaska. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to remember probably, but it's definitely considered a good password according to the tips that we've discussed. The next one is I grew up in a large family. Once again, similar as the previous example for acronym here. So, but it's going to be considered a secure password or a good password according to today's standards. So that's the end of this discussion here. And just once again, a disclaimer that these suggestions will not always be applicable. As computing power and speed increases, passwords will become easier to crack. So keep that in mind when you are coming up with your passwords. And if you do practice regularly refreshing your passwords, you can increase your passwords as time goes on as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, stop by our website, or send us an email, and we would be happy to look into presenting answers to your questions. Thank you and have a great day.